Hello, everybody. New Deep Rock game just came out. Not really. It's a demo. It's free on Steam. I'll leave a link in the description below. This is not a sponsored video. I just thought I would leave it in the description. So this is Vampire Survivors, but Deep Rock Galactic, ified, if you will. For a demo, I'll just get straight to the point. For a demo, it's actually very good. There's a lot of content here, a lot of different ways to play. Even with just one out of the 4 classes available, each run was still pretty different. There were a lot of things to unlock and experience. That being said, I think that the things that you do unlock aren't that cool. My biggest gripe with the game, and the one thing I really hope that between the demo and the early access release, I'm assuming it's going to be early access, maybe it'll be full release, I have no idea. The one thing I'd like to see changed is the overclocks of the weapons. So if you play Deep Rock Galactic, you know that as you grind and you play with a certain character and with a certain weapon, you eventually get to the point where you can overclock it or just modify it. Essentially, the weapons in this game are like your abilities in Vampire Survivors or any other style game that you may have played, like Halls of Torment or Brotato or whatnot. So the overclocks are the main feature. Like that's the crazy quote-unquote part. The issue is that it's not that crazy. The coolest one, which you just saw actually, was the spiral pattern, the Zukov Nuk 17, the thing that you're looking at right now where my cursor is on screen. That's probably the coolest one I found. It turns that gun from shooting in just all 4 cardinal directions into shooting in a spiral pattern, which is pretty cool. The issue is that you don't get that overclock, that big one, until level 18. So how the weapons work is at level 6, level 12, and level 18, you can overclock them. And the final overclock at 18 is the big boy, the big one. That's going to have a massive impact. You will visually be able to tell that it's a very different gun at that point. They're not that cool, though. It's just like shoot, like the sniper rifle, for example, which is in my 3rd slot here, the level 10 weapon. Instead of shooting, 1 bullet at a time for a lot of damage, it shoots 5 bullets in a spread. So it basically turns the sniper into a shotgun. That's cool and all, but that's the final overclock. That's level 18. And my point, why that's not that interesting, like the effect itself is fine, but the way that you overclock, the way that you get levels, is whenever your character levels up, as you do, by you kill all the monsters, you grab the XP orbs, you level up like normal, you have to choose one of 3 upgrades. And these upgrades will either be a specific weapon, like damage, reload speed, or fire rate of a specific weapon with +1 level to the weapon, or you have to choose a global upgrade. So all of your weapons get increased damage, or all your weapons of like a certain type. So light weapons, medium weapons, large weapons, all of those get damage, fire rate, or reload speed. And you have to choose. But because the overclocks are the main mechanic, if you see, and there's rarities for the upgrades, like normal, green, uncommon, rare, legendary. Of course, the more rare it is, the higher the bonus. So you might see a rare bonus for damage, global damage. You're like, oh, that's pretty good. But you have a regular common reload speed modifier for your weapon that you're trying to overclock. All of a sudden, you have to take that upgrade because it gives you that +1 level. You're not going to be able to overclock the weapon and get the actual benefit if you don't get the +1 level. And I understand that all of these Vampire Survivor style games have that dichotomy, that choice, right? You have to the risk versus the reward, so to speak, where you have to, okay, do I need 10% global damage right now, or can I afford to maybe get a little less damage on a specific weapon just to get that +1 level? Like, you have to make that choice. I understand that, but because every system in the game, every progression, the combat, everything is revolving around the overclocks, and they're not that good when it comes down to it, it just feels bad when you have to make that choice to get the +1 level on the weapon. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, and I understand it's a demo. I'm not criticizing the amount of content, just the quality of said content. And I think that because every character, again, is going to be built around these overclocks, it really needs to be adjusted, in my opinion. Now, an idea, and I don't want to just be negative Nancy over here, not offer solutions, an idea that I had was instead of giving +1 weapon on every single weapon upgrade, maybe give a common weapon upgrade, just the damage, fire rate, reload speed. The uncommon one gives that +1 level. The rare ones give +2 levels. Epic ones give +3, legendary +4, something like that. And that would speed up your weapon leveling significantly. But at the end of the day, I think it might need more than that. All I'm trying to say at the end of the day is, I just don't know why I said at the end of the day twice, leveling up your weapons doesn't feel good. Also, and I didn't state this at the start, I probably should have, leveling up your weapons doesn't increase their damage, anything. It doesn't increase any stat whatsoever. It is purely cosmetic until you reach those overclock thresholds. So again, level 6, 12, and 18. And the way the game is right now, and I got to the max difficulty, Hazard 3 is all that's available in the demo. I got to max difficulty, played a couple runs. You're not going to have more than 3 weapons overclocked, and that's being generous. That's if like you're only taking weapon upgrades. You're probably not going to see all 4 weapons at any point, even if you took all weapon upgrades. I don't think you'd level up that much. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you're definitely going to see 1, maybe 2 if you're prioritizing them, and then 3 if you're like really going in. So you're not even seeing that many overclocks at the end of the day. I should probably just rename this video Overclock Central because that's all I'm talking about here. But I mean, the rest of it's good. The movement feels good. The mining is cool. You can see the blocks are like bouncing, bing, 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 as you're mining them. It's pretty cool. The visual aspect's good. The frame rate was a little wonky at times. I have a pretty beefy computer, and the frame rate was not the best. But for the most part, everything else is solid. It's Deep Rock Galactic when it comes down to it. So if you enjoy that style, you'll probably enjoy this game. Again, it's a free to download demo. Go ahead and check it out on Steam now, and thanks for watching.